In this video, I'll give you a quick introduction to our upcoming Hawk T1 and we'll take advantage of the full support for the Microsoft Flight Sim checklist system to configure the cockpit for the remainder of our preview videos. We're currently parked at RF Valley in a Red Arrows Hawk T1A. The aircraft is cold and dark with the wheel chocks, flags, covers and cockpit stairs fitted. 13 different paint schemes are included, covering the RAF squadrons that use the aircraft in the flight and weapons training and aggressor roles, as well as the famous Red Arrows display team shown here. Finnish, Indonesian, Royal Saudi and Swiss Air Force schemes are also included to reflect its export success. 3 different exterior configurations are available: the original Hawk T1 trainer, the T1A weapons trainer and the T1A Red Arrows variants. In addition to the famous paint scheme, the latter can be identified here by the belly-mounted diesel and dye tank and associated jet exhaust piping for the coloured display smoke. Moving around to the cockpit, you can also see the centrally mounted GPS units and coaming mounted display smoke indicators. Both front and rear cockpits are fully functional with realistic configurations to reflect the rear cockpit instructor and front cockpit solo pilot roles. Just like the real aircraft, you'll need to configure the rear cockpit on the ground before taking flight as a solo pilot, although we've included quick-to-use options for achieving that. Jumping into the cockpit, we can use the Microsoft Flight Sim checklist system to automatically run through the initial, strapping in and internal checks with just a few manual push-button selections. It's also possible to quickly configure the aircraft in a cold and dark, ready for engine start or ready for takeoff state using the EFB Tablet options. With the aircraft now powered up, we're ready to take a look at some of the other features of this aircraft in future videos. In this video, I'll give you an overview of the EFB Tablet. Like our PA-28s, the Hawk T1 is equipped with an EFB tablet for controlling a variety of aircraft options. The EFB can be toggled using a switch on the right console. The basic layout of the EFB will be familiar to existing PA-28 owners, starting with the 3 aircraft states that provide a means for automatic and instant aircraft configuration. An autopilot section provides you with the basic autopilot controls for convenience, as the real Hawk T1 isn't fitted with an autopilot. A readout shows the currently selected altitude. A rear pilot option allows you to enable or disable the rear seat instructor pilot for use when flying solo. Configuration selector allows you to select from the Hawk T1 trainer, T1A weapons trainer and T1A Red Arrows variant. These configurations include differences in both the cockpit and exterior, such as the weapons panels, coaming mounted Red Arrows display smoke indicators, gun sight and GPS. There's also a dedicated button for selecting between the GPS and gun sight. Aircraft state saving is included, as well as the option for selecting whether the front or rear cockpit is being used for the flight. The control sticks can be independently toggled for better visibility via either the EFB or by clicking on the stick mount itself. Wheel chocks, flags, covers and cockpit stairs can be controlled via the EFB, and the oxygen system can also be refilled. The current quantity and supply of the oxygen can be checked on the right instrument panel. Canopy and nose storage hatch buttons provide quick and easy control of the canopy and nose hatch positions, and brightness, sound and power controls are provided for the EFB tablet itself. In this video I'll give you an overview of the internal and external lighting options on our Hawk T1. The internal lighting is controlled via switches and dimmer knobs on the right instrument panel of each cockpit. The panel light switch acts as a master switch controlling electrical power to the integral panel lighting, the dimmer knobs and the map reading lights. Separate dimmer knobs control floodlighting above the port and starboard consoles and instrument panels, and the centre instrument panel. Map reading lights are fitted to each side of the cockpit and can be pulled on or off. The rear cockpit has independent lighting controls with the same variety of lighting options as the front cockpit. Cockpits are also equipped with emergency and standby compass lighting for non-normal situations. The external lighting is controlled from the same panel, but is only controllable via the front cockpit. Conventional navigation lights are fitted to the wingtips and tail of the aircraft. Less conventional are the anti-collision lights. There are separate controls for the upper and lower fuselage, and these can be controlled independently to either red, beacon or white strobe lights. A landing and taxi light is fitted to the nose of the aircraft. Finally, a small indicator light located on the nose gear will illuminate when the aircraft is airborne and the gear is locked down.